Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Tea Time Talk. My name is Kandace, and I'm the Associate Editor at Lee & Low Books. I'm so excited to be here with you all and the wonderful Darnell Johnson, who is the illustrator of the newly released picture book, The Electric Sliding Kai, written by Kelly J. Baptist. Darnell, please say hi to the viewers and tell them a little about yourself.
Yeah, name's Darnell Johnson. I'm from Miami. Currently, I'm living in Alpharetta, which is 25 minutes north of Atlanta. My beautiful wife, my 1-year-old son, and then we're expecting twin girls in July. So really excited about that. But just been doing art, my entire life, all the way up from elementary school. Inspire people and uplift people and encourage people with my art. And I just found illustration as an avenue to be able to do that. And focus on treating them and who they are and that there's greatness in them. Because if we can do that with them, then, the future is bright.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful. And it was so wonderful working with you on The Electric Sliding Kai. For those viewers who may not have read the book yet, can you give us a quick summary of the story, please?
Yeah, Electric Sliding Kai is about an awesome family. And Kai, the main character, he is trying to learn a dance, something that is a tradition in his family. And everyone in his family has, their moves, has the sauce and everything when they get on the dance floor. And he's just trying to find himself. He's trying to find that everybody has a nickname. He wants to receive a nickname from granddad. He wants to be knighted, his nickname. And pretty much throughout the story, his siblings are, trying to give him pointers on dancing. He gets to, a wedding where electric slide comes on. He tries to vacate the premises because he doesn't want to touch the floor. But newly married into the family, his uncle helps him out and encourages him. So he eventually gets out there, bust some moves, glide a little bit, slide a little bit, and got his name. And that was pretty much the entire story.
Yeah. That's awesome. Some viewers may not know that the author Kelly submitted this story to Lee & Low's New Voices Award, and in I think 2016 or 2017. And the New Voices Award is our annual contest for unpublished picture book writers of color. That's how I came to the story, and I loved it immediately. Kelly's writing is warm and wonderful. And then the way I came to your work, Darnell, was actually through recommendation. Another editor on my team understood the style I was looking for this project, and they sent me your portfolio. And I saw your work and felt your art style was exactly what I was envisioning for this project, just like the humor that came through in some of your sample pieces and the colors and just the beautiful array of people that are in your portfolio. Just I'm very fortunate to have crossed paths with your work. Can you talk a little bit about your path to illustration and what drew you to the story, like when your agent sent you the manuscript?
Yeah, I'll touch a little bit on just what brought me to illustration. Just being able to not just only make pretty pictures, I wanted to be able to communicate, a message or communicate a story or a feeling. And I think illustration does that, whether it's just one illustration or a sequence of illustrations to help tell a story, pretty much is what I like to do. I like to visually tell stories. And for me as an individual, I'm a visual learner. And then also I like to express myself visually. I find more joy in doing that as opposed to writing and things like that. But the writers, hey, big ups to you guys. But yeah, that's how I got into illustration and why I wanted to become an illustrator. As far as you said, when I got the manuscript, right?
Yes.
So when I got the manuscript, pretty much what I normally do, I'll read first pass just to kind of just get feels for the story, characters, environments, and then the second pass I'll read, and then I'll whip out my sketchbook or a digital program that I draw in and just kind of just sketch a little bit. And then also while I'm sketching and reading through the manuscript again for the second time, I'll think of experiences in my life to put into the story to kind of ground the characters and ground the environments, so that when the readers are reading it, they can feel a sense of this is a place, this is somewhere I can connect to, because there's like little nuances or details that I may put into either how a character walks, positions themselves, or just environments that will ground the scenes that I'm illustrating in reality for the viewers, and they can connect with the characters and just the places they see in the book.
Yeah, those details definitely come through in the story.
Yeah.
The family just feels like whole and united, throughout. And the personalities that Kelly kind of wrote the manuscript, you definitely picked up on, because we see them like the sister and like baby, and they're just really, the details in their expressions too are really cute, especially in the dance scenes. I think one of my favorite scenes is when they're doing the electric slide at the wedding, and
Yeah.
the baby, she just has like this thing, like she's just putting her little thing on,
Yeah,
and it's like, yes, I've seen this toddler like at my own family occasion, where it's just like,
yeah.
why do you have so much attitude? You're 4, So, well, beautifully done.
Appreciate it.
Of course, I wanted you to talk a little bit about your different sources of inspiration that you may have drawn from as you were working on this artwork. Like, were you influenced by, are any of the characters maybe based on people that or just do you watch people and how they move and use that?
Yeah. You pretty much said, for a lot of the characters, they were based on people that I know, family, friends. I know the granddad was based off of my granddad. His name was, James E. Simmons. His nickname was Sonny. So I felt that this would be a nice way to kind of honor him as well, by modeling the grandfather after him, because he had that swag, the way he dressed. He had the little chain and everything, and then the Kango hat. So I wanted to, put that in there to kind of add those characteristics to his character. Yeah, the sister, I modeled after my sister, Deidre. She's the oldest of the two sisters that I have, and just the attitude that was communicated in Kelly's writing. I was like, hey, that sounds like my sister, Deidre. So I put her in there, and then the facial expressions for the youngest sister in the story was off of my little sister. She makes a lot of faces when she dances and when she sings and stuff. So I was like, let me try to channel that into this little girl's body, because like you said before, you go to the family reunions or the weddings, there's always like this, either a boy or a young girl that's like way older than what they actually are. And it's like, why you have all that attitude in that little small frame of yours? So I wanted to also just communicate that, that little detail characteristic within the characters as well, and just like how the dad carried himself, just from just different fathers, that I've come in contact with, and just different men that have mentored me or just been in my life. I wanted to just take characteristics from them that I admired and honored, and put it in just how the dad carried himself. And even with the uncle, with Troy, I felt that he I needed to give him a gentle giant type of feel to his character, to kind of just, and I thought it was really nice how he, you know, being not an outsider, but just being married into the family was the one that saw Kai's disconnect and was like, hey, like, dude, like we're family now. Like I see you struggling here, you know, hey, I'm trying to get my spot in the family as well. So let's try to, you know, go and do it together. So I thought that was pretty cool. And like you know, the scene where they fist bump, that
Yes.
spread was pretty awesome. You know, I could have did a handshake, you know, whatnot, but you know, fist bump is, I don't know, it's a lot more enduring, or a lot more like it connects a
Mhm.
little bit more. So I wanted to just do little details like that. Um, and just more inspiration just came from life, and experiences that I've had. Like I said, I just try to pour into my illustrations. And one major thing I wanted to do with just the drawings was to keep them as fluid as possible, because it's a dance book. Everybody's dancing. I don't want them to be stiff or appear stiff. So when I drew them dancing, I made sure I drew them, you know, nice and fluid, except for where Kai was trying to learn how to dance. So you could see, you know, him just progressing and getting better. And I hopefully visually I was able to communicate that and show the contrast.
Absolutely, you were able to, because that spread cracks me up every time. Just like those series of spot arts where he's just like, "Mm, I
Yeah.
can't control my shoulders." I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
screen share real quick and see if I can show um, viewers. Are you seeing this screen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, just this face right here, that is me.
It's like, hey, let me close this eye. Maybe I can move that arm when I close this eye. You
Exactly.
know?
Kind of robotic. Yeah. And then you
Yeah.
see dad over here kind of helping him. So yeah, I
Yeah.
just wanted to screen share that since you mentioned it. Um, let's see. And then my last question, which is probably like the most important question. I can feel the audience out there just wanting to know, and I'm gonna ask it, don't worry. Did you dance the electric slide as a form of research for this book? Because
Yes, I did. I played some YouTube videos, you know. I just wanted to get into the rhythm. You know, my wife played some videos in the background while I was drawing and just illustrating. So yeah, of course. Sadly, you know, I wasn't able to go to any family events or anything during the process to like actually experience it with them. You know, I'm sure maybe I would have grabbed even more influence from that. But yeah, definitely dance, definitely listen to the song, and just try to get the vibes from that and just apply it to my illustrations.
yeah, all those vibes come through Darnell. It's such a beautiful
Awesome.
book. And now we are going to open up to questions from the audience. I'm going to invite the awesome publicity and marketing manager, Jaleesa Corey, to join us and help us, get to those questions from the audience. So Jaleesa, are you with us? Are you there?
I am. Thank you all for coming. So we have a couple questions for you. And in the meantime, if there are attendees who would like to ask questions, feel free to put your questions in the Q&A box at this time or in the chat box where we can see it. So I actually had that fun question about, if y'all have danced the electric slide, and I would say electric slide in Kiowa, the electric slide at weddings. Can you count that out? But since that was answered, our first question was, where and how does a non-published children's either writer or illustrator have their books published by a traditional publisher? So I'll punt that to you, Kandace. And for Darnell afterwards, if you want to talk about your journey becoming a children's book illustrator.
Sure. There are a few different paths to getting published if you're an unpublished writer. You could do like Kelly, Kelly J. Baptist, who wrote The Electric Slide and Kai. She submitted her manuscript to our New Voices Award. We hold, at Lee and Low, we hold a writing contest every year, and the winning manuscript gets a publication contract with us and a cash prize. And there's also an honor recipient, and Kelly submitted, I believe, 5 times to the contest, like different stories each year. And, you know, I think she is an example of how you have to stick with it and get better at your craft and just keep submitting and build that, you know, that pile of rejections and just keep submitting. And that is, I think, at the core of the path to publication, just looking for opportunities, improving yourself, and then taking advantage of those opportunities. Yeah, Darnell, if you have anything to add.
Yeah, for me, my journey into just children's book illustration, for me, I just started submitting, you know, some work to different agencies and different, you know, just areas where they were looking for illustrators. And, you know, after some time, just like how you said, those failure letters from people saying, you know, from people just saying, you know, hey, your work is nice, but just not a good fit. Until eventually, you know, I was reached out to by Astound, who I'm with right now. They represent me for children's publishing. And yeah, got connected with them. Aurora was my main agent that worked with me, and she was in contact with you guys at Lee and Low, and you guys saw potential in my work to help bring, you know, Electric Slide and Kai to life. And she sent, you know, the manuscript to me and told me about the story, and I was like, hey, yes, this is going to be a great debut book for me, especially with something that resonates with me as far as, you know, what I've grown up with. And it was awesome to be able to break into children's publishing with this story, Electric Slide and Kai, because it allowed me to, you know, be authentic and show parts of who I am. And that's pretty much what I want to do with the work, you know, I create. I want to be able to share my voice and to encourage people by that as well. And just my experiences may help others, you know.
I think that's so important to the creative process, what you just said about being authentic to yourself and being able to bring that to your work, and then also actually bringing it to your work, because it comes through in the writing and in the art very much. So I think that that's a helpful tidbit. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So to add on to that, what advice would you give to aspiring writers and illustrators? And this question is for you both.
Sure. Darnell, would you like to answer it first?
Yeah, sure. I would say be yourself. I'll continue with that theme because nobody else can be you. Nobody else can tell stories the way you can tell stories. As an illustrator, yes, you want to, you know, draw better and get better at drawing, and, you know, style is something that people chase. You know, I've chased it. And for me, I realized, you know, you can stifle your growth as an artist chasing style. Style is going to come because the way you do things is a style all in itself. So if you just continue to just chase more of an experience that you want to communicate, a story that you want to share, I think that's more important than chasing a style. Because once you figure out who you are as a person and what type of stories you want to tell, the style will kind of catch up to that. Because style and just your way of drawing comes with mileage. You got to draw, you just got to keep drawing and draw from life, draw from things around you, draw from your experiences, because that's what helps, you know, make your stories feel authentic and for them to feel real and tangible in a way for people when, you know, they engage with your illustrations.
I agree. And my advice would be to be receptive to feedback. I as an editor, I get feedback from other editors, on my books, even the Electric Slide and Kai, as it's developing, and that being receptive, I mean, being open to it, trusting, using people who you trust to get that feedback from, and just not seeing it as your book is wrong or your manuscript is wrong or broken or not going anywhere. Just it needs to get to a stronger place, and then revising to get to a stronger place. Nothing is perfect from the get-go, and you just have to keep working on your craft. And if you believe in the story, do the work that needs to be done to make it as strong as possible. So that would be my piece of advice for up and coming writers.
Thank you for that. So that concludes all the questions we have for you both. So Kandace, I'm going to pass it over to you to conclude.
Sure. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. It's been my great pleasure to have shared this space with both Jaleesa and Darnell. The Electric Slide of Kai is now available. Please learn more on Leon Lowe's website. And thank you again for joining us. Keep boogieing, guys. Don't stop dancing. Don't stop writing. Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, everyone.